Welcome into another edition of The Session with Londa and David. My name is Jaime Escalante.
And I'm Londa Sherwood Austin. Welcome back.
I'm not actually standing and delivering. I'm David Austin.
Yes, you are. And we are moving into the second half of the year.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Let's go.
The end of Q2, fast approaching.
Yes.
That's exciting.
How are you going to make the second half of the year even better than the first half?
That's a great question. And we're going to talk about that and much more in today's episode of The Session with Londa and David. But I'm not jumping right into that.
Oh.
Yeah, because I got to think about my answer. I got
the brakes.
I got to roll into it. I'm rolling.
You want to think while I talk?
Sure. Go ahead.
All right. So one of the things I'm doing for the second half of the year is focusing a little bit more on my daily routine.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is prioritizing me.
Okay.
I'm going to put on my own oxygen mask first.
Sure.
And then put on everyone else's.
Okay, so let's talk about this. What went wrong in the first half of the year that made you think you didn't take good enough care of yourself?
Well, a lot. But I can summarize it by saying I let the stress of work and life and family overtake my care for myself, especially in the second quarter.
Okay.
Yeah. So just the stress of everything made me, like, I quit doing my morning stretches and I have a little wake up routine that I've done for years.
Right.
You know? And I quit doing it. And then I quit doing my red light therapy, and I'm not going to the sauna as much, and some things like that. And so just rearranging, reprioritize. And it's putting on my own oxygen mask first so that I can better show up for my people. And it's funny, I was listening to, I just caught a clip of Tony Robbins talking about his 10-minute morning routine that he does, you know, and he's like, I'm not really a meditation person, but I do a 2-minute breathing exercise to kind of change my state. That's his kind of thing. And then he does these other things. He said the whole thing takes about 10 minutes, and it's just so that I can show up as my best to the world. And my whole morning thing takes about an hour.
Right. And
so being able to do that, to show up for the rest of the world, is important, because what happens is if I don't do that, I'm scattered the rest of the day. If I don't put my own oxygen mask on first, take care of myself, the things I know that I need to do so that I can feel good, then I'm scattered the rest of the day, and I'm pulled this direction, that direction. And the business that we do, it's easy to get pulled in all these different directions.
Sure.
And
Yes.
I kind of lose sight of, it's like the tail wagging the dog.
Right.
And so that I'm getting behind on my expense reports, and I'm getting behind on my mailers to our clients. What? And so, hey, but I will tell you, if you ever lose a Google Sheet unexpectedly, I can help you find it. I know the forensic back end of Google Workspace now, and they were terrific, by the way. Speaking of, their back end engineers helped me figure out what went wrong and able to recover. That was one reason the mailer got delayed, is because our mailing list got deleted. So anyway, so just that's my focus for the second half of the year.
So take care of yourself first, put on your oxygen mask first,
so I can show up as my best version, the best version of me.
Okay.
For everyone else.
Where did this come from? Because this is the first time we've had this conversation.
No, I've just been thinking about it.
Okay.
I've been, I just finished reading The 4-Hour Work Week,
right,
by Tim Ferriss.
We've talked about it on and off the past couple of days.
That sparked some of it.
Okay.
Yeah. And I thought, man, if I don't have an hour a day to give to me, what am I doing?
Okay.
Then I don't have a life.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
For me, in the second half, I'm going to notice the good things. Intentionally notice the good things.
Okay. Tell me more about that, because I feel like that's just who you are.
Well, that's true, but I'm not intentional about it. I see them and am surprised. Do you know what I mean? You come around the corner, you're so beautiful, it takes my breath away. I'm surprised by that. I'm going to intentionally notice the good things now, not be surprised by them. See them coming, as it were. You know, one of my favorite books is kind of a sales book, but it's about appreciation and gratitude. It's The Noticer Returns by Andy Andrews. And I really, really like that book because it's so positive. And one of the things in that book that I really enjoyed was he was talking about a car dealer that did outreach service in his community, and that helped his business grow, even though it wasn't for sales purposes. Like at Christmas time, he'd have kids from the community in, and he'd wrap gifts for them and give them gifts, and it really helped grow his business. And he noticed that it made him feel good to do it, and the bottom line got better too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to be more intentional about noticing the good things rather than being surprised by them. I think that's what I want to do.
That's good. I like that. How do you think that might impact everything else?
Well, if I'm noticing the good things, the things that aren't so good, I'll see coming too. You know what I mean? Because I'm not so reactionary.
I gotcha.
I'm doing a little bit more anticipation. I don't know if that's going to have a positive or negative impact on the actual workflow on the business, but that's kind of what I'm thinking about for the second half of the year.
Yeah.
I don't have any sad things that I think about ever, and I don't really have any things that I think about to improve upon just because I'm not super introspective, but I do want to be more intentional about seeing the good things coming.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah. So there you go. That's my whole second half thing. The first half of the year was great. We've already got a ton of business in the pipeline to more than double what we've done the first half of the year.
Yeah, June's crazy. We've got five or six new listings. I'm super, super grateful for that. So things are really picking up in the market. And I know every realtor and lender that I've talked to is very grateful that things are picking up. But I made a comment to you today. Things must be rough because the commercial. So in our area, okay, right. I don't know if this is true anywhere else. Commercial realtors tend to take a little bit more time to get back to you.
A little loosey-goosey. A little laissez-faire.
Yeah, if they do it. In fact, case in point, I got a call, I think it was 2 weeks ago, from one, and she said, hey, I saw that you were inquiring about, XYZ property. I said, that was 2 months ago.
Right.
We fully moved on.
Right.
So there's an example of it. Well, last night, I had a client reach out, say, I want to see these 3 commercial spaces for lease. And I said, okay. I reached out to the agents this morning via email because it was too early to call or text to make arrangements, to show this within an hour, boom, boom, boom. All of them got back to me, and that is highly unusual. So I say all of that to say, whatever is happening, yes, please, if it improves the economy and the housing market, I know that it's been a little hit and miss for a few months. And a few years. And so we're very grateful to have some business coming around.
Sure. I think another thing to consider is if you're looking at the same ways you've always done business and not trying to do more, just based on the anecdotal information we've come across in the last couple of weeks, you're going to be unhappy in your results.
Well, in that same Tom Ferry webinar I was listening to yesterday, when I first started real estate 10 years ago now, the statistic that we were taught was that 15% of your database will make a move in any given year.
Right.
And then it kind of dwindled down to 10%.
Okay.
And in that webinar, they said yesterday, it's now as low as 4%. So if you're not working 2 to 3 times harder, you're going to get left behind.
Well, and that makes sense to me because as we've talked about over and over and over again, during COVID, people were home for 40 extra hours a week.
Yeah.
And realized during that time that their houses weren't as cool as they thought they were. If you've got to be somewhere an extra 40 hours and you don't have a buffer to go to during the day, you may want to make some life changes.
Well, people did.
And people
all
did.
kinds of life changes.
And interest rates were artificially low.
Yeah.
So people bought houses. So here's the thing. It's no surprise to me that the move-up buyer market isn't moving like crazy because those people moved up 2 or 3 years ago into houses that they think are pretty cool.
Yeah. And unless you've got some extenuating circumstances, you're probably not making a move right now. Or unless you're an investor. And investors are grabbing properties.
Well, and first-time home buyers are moving now. Mm-hmm. And the first-time home buyers now, and this is anecdotal, it hasn't panned out over the years in the research, but all of the articles I'm reading are saying first-time home buyers are buying a little earlier, but with the help of their families. In higher numbers than ever before, family assistance is being used to buy first-time home buyer houses. Mm-hmm. And that kind of pans out looking at what's moving in our market.
Well, and
first-time home buyers are buying, and luxury homes are selling.
And I would say, too, really be sure that if you are a first-time home buyer, be sure that you are talking with an experienced, educated, intelligent lender. Because it's maybe there's some things you didn't think about. For example, gift equity.
Yeah.
We were talking about that recently.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know about that. And are you able to explain kind of how that works?
So if you're thinking about,
let's pretend
you are a young family and you've just sold your house and you're planning to buy a home from, say, a family member, your mom, your dad, your grandpa, right?
Okay.
And they are thinking, because you don't have a ton of cash, we're going to carry the note for you. And you
they're
can
gonna act
just
like the
pay
bank.
us. Yes, we're going to act like the bank, right? But we need to make our goals work as the parents at least $30,000 or $40,000 cash to be able to do that. So you're going to need a good down payment, and then we'll carry the note for you. Because we need the cash today,
right?
But we'll carry the note for you because we don't owe anything on the house. We just need the cash, right?
Okay.
Well, in that case, instead of having your parents carry your note, you might talk to them about gift equity. And here's what I mean by that. If your parents are willing to sell you their house that maybe you grew up in for, say, $300,000, because that's well below fair market value. So they're really helping you out, letting you buy this house for $300,000, and they need some cash right away. It may be better for you to buy it for fair market value, but have them gift you the equity from fair market value to the amount of money they need. So if they need $300,000, you could buy the house for fair market value. Let's say it's $450,000. Well, they would then gift you the equity between $450,000 and $300,000 to be used toward your down payment and your closing costs. Now they're getting the money they need right away, and you're not having to come up with a big pile of down payment money.
And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about you need a lender who knows what they're doing. I never understood how important the lender was.
Right.
As a realtor, I didn't know how vital it was until you and I started working together, because someone in my office, when I was talking to them about, I don't really have a lender that I work with consistently that, is available on the weekends when I'm working with clients and I'm kind of getting frustrated. And they're like, you should work with David Austin. I think you guys would work well together. Oh, okay. No problem. Also, he's cute. Yes, I will call him. And so, we were both single. Why not? And so we started working together, and all of a sudden I started hearing you on the phone with clients and listening to you talk to me about how a deal might work. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is this is way more a piece of it than I ever knew. And I've just continued to learn that as we've continued to work and now live together. And,
Sure.
It's so important.
Well, I would tell you that your whole success team is important, right?
Let's go.
Your lender being knowledgeable, that's important.
Yeah.
Your title and escrow team being prompt and forward thinking, that's important.
I'm working with one right now that they are killing it, knocking it out of the
Your
park.
realtor partner should have soft skills and negotiating skills. I mean, every member of the team, all the way down to the appraiser and the inspector, are important in your career.
Contractors,
absolutely. If you don't have a success team, now this is for everybody in business right now, no matter what your business is. If you don't have a success team around you of people who are as willing to stay in the deal as you are, you will not be as successful as you can be. So no matter what your business is, I recommend you surround yourself with achievers who have skills that might augment or surpass your skills, because you need to have the best resources available. You know, people talk a lot about AI. People talk a lot about CRM systems. People talk a lot about technology and how it can help your business. You know who can help your business better than any of those? Other people who have a vested interest in you as a person.
I like it.
That's who can help you. So what I would tell you is embrace technology for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Get into it. Get in there. But even stronger, embrace the people who you want to bring along with you in life, because they can help your business in ways you've never even thought of. If you don't have a good lender partner, you need one. If you don't have a good realtor partner, you need one. If you don't know a handyman who's great and always picks up the phone, you need one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Whatever your industry is, kind of sit and think about, like, if you think of the industry as the hub of a wheel.
Right.
And each one of the spokes coming off the hub is one of your partners in the industry. They're connected somehow to XYZ industry, whatever it is, right? In B&I, they call them power partners.
Sure.
Right? And those people are what makes this thing that you do successful. And so whatever that thing that you do, when I was a stay-at-home mom, you know, it was, I needed babysitters and caretakers and my doctors and my, you know what I mean? I needed other moms. That was my whole network, because momming was my hub. Right. Right. And so no matter what you do, you have to have, nobody gets anywhere by themselves.
Right.
Now, ultimately, I do believe, you know, I want to thank me. Right, that whole concept. I want to thank me, because I'm the one who got up every morning. I'm the one who did the thing. I do believe that. If it weren't for me, the thing wouldn't work. And if it weren't for all these other people and all these other pieces, I guarantee you it wouldn't work either.
Right.
And so if there's a piece of your team that's not working, like a cancer, cut it out and replace it with some good, healthy new tissue. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yes. You need a success team around you no matter what you're doing. If you sell boats and you don't have a fiberglass repair person in your Rolodex that you can count on,
your Rolodex,
your business is going to sink.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying?
Rolodex. Yeah.
It's, you know, if you do construction, if you don't have a good carpenter on your team, that stuff's not going to last long.
Well, you got to have a framer, you got to have a finished carpenter, you got to have all the, you know. So I think you guys get the concept. You get the concept. We're kind of beating a dead horse here, but it's important.
It is important.
You know,
it is important. It's just like teachers who don't make partners with parents of the children in their classes. You need to do that. That's your success team. The parents, if you get them bought in,
teaching's the whole thing.
Let me tell you, if you get the parents on your side, now you got a stew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I love how people say that, well, at private schools, parents are much more engaged. I don't understand that. I think that's an outreach and communication problem. You need to get people on your team, your success team, no matter where you are. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. You could be much more successful if the people you count on have a similar interest in your success as you do in their success.
For sure. And I think it'll make the second half of your year much more successful as you strive to find these people, put them in place, and then it's only going to prepare you for an even more successful 2027.
And I will be more intentional about recognizing the awesome stuff coming my way. And that is with the people on my success team as well as in my personal line of work. I think that's great. I think that's cool stuff.
Yeah.
What else do you want to talk about? We have 10 minutes left in the show.
Well, that's what I brought.
I think that was gold. I think that was gold.
That is what I wanted to talk about.
I wanted to talk about the economy, but that's boring. Nobody cares.
I think you might need to.
Well, I don't know. Were you just bound?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. 'Cause I thought I was having a seizure just now.
No, I accidentally bumped my foot on the chair.
Yeah, that's what that was.
The sound freaked you out.
I heard somebody running up our stairs coming at us.
No, so as far as the economy goes, I do think there's a lot of value in just kind of giving an overview of what's happening in the world right now.
Well, yesterday, which was Tuesday, huge tech sell-off. Like between 2 and 10%, depending on which index you were looking at, right? This morning, huge SEC buying. So now the markets are all up a little bit. I think it's really interesting to see how things go in the economy. The one thing I'm most interested in, though, is how the price of oil is going to impact the overall economy.
Yeah,
right?
talk to me about that and give me the trickle down.
Okay, here's the trickle down. A barrel of oil was up over $100 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Right now it's at $74. A barrel of oil right now is at $74. That's a 24% decline in price since the highs.
Is the price of oil what kind of drives a lot of the world market, or?
Yes, because oil represents the cost of transporting goods and services, right?
Okay.
If oil is expensive, then diesel is expensive, gasoline is expensive, and jet fuel is expensive. And that's how we move things across the world, right? So with oil...
And that's why the Strait of whatever, it was
Hormuz,
such a big deal.
Well, the Strait of Hormuz was a big deal because geopolitically it was a big deal, and that spiked fears about running out of oil.
Okay,
in America, we never had fears of running out of oil because we're one of the biggest oil producers in the world. We were selling more oil to countries we normally don't sell it to while the Strait of Hormuz was closed.
Okay.
Right? But still, the price of oil, a barrel, was up over $100. Now it's down to 74, 24% decline. Here's the problem. The price of gasoline is only down 14% since the high in March. 14%.
And should those numbers match?
They should be a lot closer together.
Okay.
And what we've seen is whenever there's stress, the price raises super quickly.
Okay.
And people complain and say, well, but the gas that's there today is the same gas that was there yesterday. How did it go up so quickly just because the price of oil went up this morning? And the answer is it can't, but it did. So gas companies are quick to raise prices, and to quote some economist I heard this morning, they feather in the decreases. They spike, but only feather in the decreases, which is why there's a 10-point gap between oil prices and gas prices in coming down. So one thing that's happening right now, in fact, it broke overnight. Just after midnight, the president tweeted, I can't believe I'm saying this, that he was going to start a Justice Department investigation, or order the Justice Department to start an investigation into price gouging at gas stations, because he says gas isn't coming down quickly enough. Well, it's not. Regardless of what he says, it's not coming down as fast.
Gotcha.
Right? The reason it's important is because if gas prices come down, which they should and will, then the cost of goods and services goes down because transportation costs go down. And when that happens, inflation lessens, right? And a lot of people were saying to me, well, with inflation the way it is, are they going to raise interest rates at the Fed? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to, because the inflation that we've seen over the last 3 or 4 months since we've been dinking around in Iran has been created by that. And now that we have an agreement for 60 days, things are coming down. So, I'm excited about the economy. I'm not excited about the political conversation, though. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there you go.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I can't wait to see gas get a little bit cheaper. It was down like 15 cents for me when I went to Costco the other day. But it's funny because it was $1.50 cheaper in Wisconsin 2 weeks ago than it was here yesterday.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Washington, if you just look at the national average, is $1.36 higher than the national average, and I don't understand that.
Interesting.
I know our gas taxes are high, and that happens. It's even worse in California. Mm-hmm. But yeah, $1.36 today, higher in Washington state average than the national average.
Does it make you want to get an electric vehicle?
It does, actually. And the fact that in Washington state, my electricity that I produce with my solar panels does not give me money back. It's money I can't spend. It just is a credit on my electricity bill, makes me furious. So
until
yes,
it goes back to the state or whatever.
That's exactly right. In March, every March, whatever I have in there goes back to the state.
So the only way to get that is to use it up.
Correct.
I'm leaving every light on.
Well, I let's not go that far, but yeah, I'm averaging about $100 of free electricity going to the city of Richland every single month, and that's a lot of money. So when I called and found out that even though I had a $146 bill and $130 credit, I couldn't write them a check for the difference.
Yeah, and it stinks because you can't do anything. We have no right to it, and that stinks because
we do, just not in Washington.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The legislation doesn't allow us to enjoy that.
Well, or to gift it.
Oh,
correct. Is there somebody who, can you look in your records and see if there's somebody who's behind in their utility bill and we'd like to gift that to them, right? I would do something like that.
It can only offset our electricity bill. That's it.
It can't.
Not other people's,
silly.
which is dumb.
Yeah.
That is dumb. You know what? Maybe there should be some legislation. We should talk to our state representative, who we know and love dearly, and see if there's anything she can do to propose a bill where surplus electricity manufacturing from home solar can go into a fund to offset lower income people's electricity.
Yeah.
It wouldn't,
or senior
it wouldn't
citizens,
really circumvent
something like that. Yeah.
It wouldn't really circumvent the existing law, though, because the existing law says in Washington it can only augment electricity bills. I don't know that it says it can only augment my electricity bill.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it can't pay my water bill with the same city. Cannot. Can't pay my sewage with the same city.
Right.
Cannot. That's interesting. Maybe we could see if there's a way to do that. I like it. You've given me some food for thought.
There you go. Going kind of back to our conversation about what you'll do in the second half of the year, one of the other things that they were talking about in the webinar, and then of course I know, is do the thing you know that you're supposed to do, but do more of it, right? They're like, if you're not working 2 to 3 times harder, you're going backwards. And so we had a conversation yesterday with somebody who had this great idea for kind of having conversations with people in his database that were not sales focused, but more personal focused, and he's like, I'm going to have one of these conversations every day for 14 days, right? They might turn into business. They might not. The point is just the discipline of having the conversation.
They certainly won't turn into business if you don't have the conversation.
Right. So, but what was interesting to me is I said, okay, when are you starting? And he said, well, I was supposed to start yesterday.
Right.
But I haven't done it yet.
Right.
So I think that if you are I was going to say if you're in sales, but everyone's in sales in some way. Right. There's always that thing that you should do that you're putting off. And maybe the second half of this year, your kind of big thing that you could just start doing is that one thing that you should do that you're not doing.
I like that.
So there you go. Put your own oxygen mask on first and do the thing that you should do that you've been putting off for no logical reason.
There's a great book about that called Eat the Frog. Eat the Frog. That talks about how the worst thing you got to do it first.
So we've recommended 3 books today. One is The 4-Hour Work Week by Tom Ferriss. The other is
Andy Andrews, The Noticer Returns.
And Eat the Frog.
Eat the Frog. And I don't remember who wrote that. And it's a very simple story.
Yeah.
It's like Who Moved My Cheese?
Yeah.
There's another one, 4th one.
So there you go. There you have it, and there it is.
All right.
Second half of the year. Make it happen.
I don't know what more we can talk about. Is there anything you want to throw in there really quickly?
Just did it. Just did my summary.
All right. I like it. There you have it. There it is. For the prettiest girl in the world, Londa Joanne Sherwood Austin, I'm David Austin, and my promise to you is that in the second half of this year, starting July 1, I am going to be more intentional about noticing what's good coming my way.
Love it.
And what are you going to do?
Put on my own oxygen mask first and do the one thing I know I should be doing that I've been putting off.
If you want to tell us what you're going to do, you can email david@sherwoodaustin.com. That's david@sherwoodaustin.com or londa@sherwoodaustin.com. That's LONDA@sherwoodaustin.com. We'll see you right back here, same bat time, same bat channel next week at The Session with Londa and David.